It's Rotowire's top 300 fantasy baseball rankings. I'm Alan Soslowski here with Rotowire co-founder Jeff Erickson. On this video, we're going to give you what you need to dominate your fantasy baseball drafts. Jeff, talking about your top 300 rankings article, we noticed that you have 3 starting pitchers in the top 12. When is it okay to take a starting pitcher in the first round of your fantasy baseball draft?
At any point. I mean, you can make the case that it could be Jacob deGrom or Garrett Cole goes first overall if you really felt that strongly about it. And you'll see it in the NFBC. You'll see it all the time. You'll see these top starters go, even at the very top sometimes. And as we get closer to opening day, sometimes you'll sometimes you'll see a 4th pitcher in the top 12. Certainly in the 15-team leagues, you'll see 4 or 5 starters frequently go in the first round. You just have to know how you're going to build after that. I think that's the key. If you're going to commit a first-round pick to one of these guys, just know your build afterward.
Does draft position, where you're drafting in the draft order, dictate who you should take first?
You should think about the consequences of it. Absolutely. In fact, I just did a draft, the TGFBI draft, where I'm drafting second. Took Acuna in the first round. I had to have a pitching plan. When am I going to get my aces? Do I get 2 on the 2-3 turn, or do I just get 1? How do I want to address it, or do you want to wait? You can make that plan, but you have to look, map it out accordingly. If you're going to not take a pitcher in the 2nd and 3rd round, you better think about, okay, how many do I need to make up for that? Because there's a qualitative difference, obviously. It's not just quantity, but it's qualitative too. The number of innings that they're going to throw, the number of strikeouts they're going to get. How am I going to make up that gap? You don't have to be first in strikeouts. You don't have to win those categories, but you need to be competitive, especially in an overall contest.
After the first 3 rounds, when you've laid in your core players, does that determine how you're going to treat the next 3 to 5 rounds?
Not exactly. It helps, but sometimes you may decide, okay, I'm going to wait on closers. Sometimes I'm going to get that top closer. You can kind of choose your adventure even after that. That said, if I don't have stolen bases in the first 4 rounds, heck yeah, it does change everything. I need to figure out, how am I going to get my steals, or am I going to go without them? If you're in a standalone league, that's a perfectly defensible strategy. But you should start knowing, okay, well, I don't have stolen bases yet. What's my plan here? It's always think about your team construct as a whole, not just player evaluation. Unless you're in a points league and it doesn't matter about categories whatsoever. In that case, just get the best available player.
What player going outside of the top 100 has the best chance to shoot up the rankings as we get closer to draft season?
Just Joe Musgrove's going to have his partisans. He seems to be a guy that's rocketing up the charts. I can channel my inner Chris List and say Byron Buxton, but I'm not a Buxton guy, so I won't be that. But I'd say Josh Bell is another one of those guys. Had that year 2 years ago. Now he's in DC in a better hitter's ballpark. That might be a better way to go for that. You're always looking for younger guys. I'd say is the bias there. A lot of people might answer Jared Kelenic, maybe now with that knee injury, and probably not so much him. But that sort of mentality. Maybe Andrew Vaughn is that guy instead.
Jeff, what player going inside the top 50 picks are you never going to draft?
I'm not taking Cody Bellinger, at least not at the price. He's going at the end of the first round, beginning of the second. My price on him is more like 45 or so. I'm worried about the shoulder. I'm worried about the batting average drop, and I'm worried about dropping position. He could go crazy like he did in 2019, and I might be wrong about that. But I need a 3rd round price or later on Cody Bellinger, and I'm not going to get it.
Who's a player that subscribers to Rotowire should draft way ahead of ADP right now?
TJ Antone. It's the guy I'm flogging all week long, all last week. Yes, I'm buying into recency bias, Reds fan bias, height, you name it. But he's throwing 97 and 99. That's higher than he's ever thrown before. He's throwing a ton of spin. His slider is just nasty. He may not win the rotation spot right away. Don't worry. It's worth it. In fact, that keeps his price down for you. Get him while you still can at a reasonable price.
Who was some of the toughest decisions you had to make?
For me, it's how do you value the closers? It's always how you value the closers. Because if you go on a pure value basis, what they earn for you, they're going to be buried. You're not going to get any of them, at least according to cost. Maybe you get some of the really late ones. But for me, it's, okay, where do I slip in this closer? Where do I slip in this catcher, for that matter? Those are the 2 areas where you have to give some sort of scarcity bump. One's a positional scarcity. The other is a categorical scarcity. And a lot of people do decide just to kick that can down the road. And again, that's where you have to decide whether you're not going to compete in that category or not at the draft table. Perfectly defensible not to. And then in trade leagues, it's even better because you can still speculate on closers off the waiver wire and sneak a few points in that way.
There's Jeff Erickson's top 300 composite rankings video, exclusive on our YouTube channel. Remember to like and subscribe to get notifications when we put a new video up. And click the link in the video right here to get the full article of Jeff Erickson's composite top 300 fantasy baseball rankings.